اتقوا الله تعالى واشكروه على ما أنعم عليكم من إتمام النعم والقيام، فإن ذلك من أكبر النعم، واسألوه أن يتقبل ذلك منكم ويتجاوز عما حصل من التفريط والإهمال، فإنه تعالى أكرم الأكرمين وأجود الأجودين. وقال تعالى: شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان، فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه، ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر، يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر، ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون. Respected elders, brothers, mothers and sisters, it's the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given us this opportunity to complete the month of Ramadan. This is the day that we celebrate this great gift of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the opportunity to complete this great faridah and obligation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will just highlight a few points and complete this khutbah as soon as possible, inshallah. The verse that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions regarding the month of Ramadan, Shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran. In this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions a few points that we should reflect on, especially after we complete the month of Ramadan. In this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants ease for you. He does not want difficulty for you. Now a person may think that we just passed through the month of Ramadan. Fasting was very difficult for me. It was long days of fast and the heat of the sun was there and we were working and all these things were in our lives during our fast. But in reality, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from this is ease. How does that ease come? We went through the whole month of Ramadan. We fasted for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We stayed away from halal food and haram and halal drink and also halal relationships for a long period of time every day. Since we restrained ourselves, we controlled ourselves in this month of Ramadan, if we can do that for 29 days, then inshallah we can do that for the rest of the year. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants ease for us in the sense that you did it for 29 days, that it should be easy for you for the rest of the year to stay away from those things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prohibited. When you had stayed away from those things which were halal for a long period of time, for 17 hours, it should be easy for you to stay away from those things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prohibited. When it comes to food and drink, when it comes to prohibited relationships, we should stay away from that for the rest of the year. It should be easy for us. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants ease for you. And then Allah mentions وَلِتُكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةِ, and so that you complete this fixed amount of days. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had prescribed أَيَّامًا مَعْدُودَاتٍ. Fixed amount of days was a course for us. It was a way to train ourselves for 29 days or 30 days. Once we complete this, it will be easy for us to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Allah mentions وَلِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ. This is the gist of this whole verse. وَلِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ. After you finish this month of Ramadan, it is your duty and responsibility to continuously mention the kibriya, mention the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Wallahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, wa lillahi alhamd. By saying